3 years ago, I was miserable with my sugar addiction. I didn't know what to do at that point. I really wanted to follow a clean diet, but I just relapsed constantly. What's worse, my family was addicted to junk food too, so they would buy these cupcakes that would always relapse on. And I grew resentful toward my family for that because, well, I thought if I just had no sugary stuff at my home, I wouldn't relapse. But since they bought it, I would just eat it like this, one after another. I would just devour it all. At the same evening, they would buy it. I remember that I would relapse on all the kinds of sugary stuff. I remember that when in the moment I realized what I was doing, I would just take the food out of my mouth, throw it in the trash bin, go to the bathroom, and rinse my mouth. But 2.5 years ago, everything changed. I gave up sugar cold turkey. Right now, my friends um, call me somewhat of an self-improvement artist when it comes to my diet. I never make any exceptions. I haven't eaten or drunk anything sugary in these 2.5 years. Well, maybe some medicine or maybe some sauce in the cafe that I didn't know had sugar in it. But you know what I mean. Nothing that I knew contained sugar. And today I want to share with you what helped me. So if you find yourself in this desperate state too, I hope this video will be helpful to you. I won't be talking about progressive overload. Everyone recommends it, gradually decreasing the amount of sweet stuff that you eat. It never worked for me. Like, especially since I was in school living with my family, I couldn't really control how much sugary stuff entered my home. When my family bought something, I would just devour it all. So this never helped me, and I think if it helped you, you wouldn't be watching this video either. So the first thing is the mindset. I want you to adopt a mindset that you always find a way to avoid sugar. You make no exceptions. Under any circumstances, you find an alternative to eating sugar. What's beautiful about this rule is that it's simple. And simple rules make your life easier because whenever next time you are in a situation where there is something sugary, like for example, your family buys something and you know it contains sugar, you already know the answer whether you should eat it. No, there aren't any circumstances where you can eat sugar. A new bakery in your town um, opened and started baking desserts that you've never tried before. Should you try it? No, you shouldn't. So if now whenever I see something sugary, I instantly see it as something inedible. My brain doesn't even identify cookies or candy as food. I remember one story that happened a couple months ago. I lived with my friend who was new to the sugar free life, and we went to the kitchen, and we live in a hotel, so the kitchen is shared by all guests, and there was some candy and cookies lying there, and he said, damn, like, so tempting. It's like just when you want to give up sugar, the temptations arise. And I realized that I didn't even notice that stuff laying on the table. It wasn't tempting to me because I already knew that I couldn't eat it. And if you add to that the years of experience, yeah, it's the point you get to eventually when you don't even consider eating something sugary as a possibility. If you're just starting out, though, this big commitment could be intimidating, and you don't really have to make such commitment yet. I remember when I gave up sugar 2.5 years ago, I didn't know that I would give it up for good. I thought I would make exceptions sometimes, when you really can't go around it. But what you will find out is that whatever the circumstances, there is a way to avoid sugar. After you spend at least a couple weeks, especially a couple months sugar free, you look at it with different eyes. So, what you need to remember is that you should not feed your addiction if you want to kill it. Whenever you relapse, whenever you eat something sugary for whatever reason, your addiction gets stronger. Okay, if you make an excuse, your brain kind of realizes that it can convince you to relapse. So it will use it again and again. You will just crave more. On the other hand, every time you resist this urge, especially when the urge is really strong, your addiction gets weaker and eventually it dies. So, yeah, the pain that you feel inside you when you resist this urge is your addiction dying. I remember years ago, I used to be heavily addicted to milk chocolate. I really loved it. I still love it, but I prefer those with stevia instead. So I really loved it. And I remember when I went to the store and I wanted to buy it, but I knew I shouldn't. I would leave it and I would almost shaking. Like it was physically painful to leave the store without buying it, but it was for good. It was for good. I overcame this addiction. After a couple of times, your brain just gives up. It realizes that you are can't be convinced to relapse. So the actionable step that I suggest you do is think about a situation where you eat sugar, what excuses you make, what triggers there are, and come up with alternatives to eating sugary food, like what you could do instead. For example, maybe you snack with junk food, and you could buy something like nuts or fruit instead. Well, if that doesn't work for you, like if you really enjoy the taste, then you can buy some sugar-free candy that tastes the same. For example, I found out that this snacker with peanuts and caramel, it tastes exactly like Snickers, but it's sugar-free. So that's what I ate when I really wanted Snickers. If you believe your situation is unique and you don't know what to do about it, let me know. Like, leave the comment and I will try to help you. I will try to make suggestions on what you can do in your situation. Also, I have a free community and the link is in the comments. You can join it and it's about discipline overall. If you want to become your most disciplined self, I will really recommend you check it out and you can make a post there and share your situation and I will try to help you with my experience and my knowledge. So yeah, I think you should give it a try. Another rule that you want to adopt is always check the ingredient list. I genuinely cannot believe how an average person just sees something on a shelf, grabs it, buys it, and eats it without even know what's in there. You shouldn't be like that. Always check what's in the label. And I don't mean just, the stuff that looks sugary, like cookies or something. Anything. If you eat, if you still eat processed bread or sausages, or if you eat canned fish, you should check the ingredients too because they put sugar in everything now. Like when I go to the store, almost any canned fish has sugar in it. So I had to always check it. I don't eat fish now, but my friend does, and yeah, I always remind him to check whether there is sugar in it. Google the ingredients that you don't understand. Stop being okay with eating stuff you don't understand. There's some chemical in there and you don't know what it is. Google it and then make a decision whether you want to eat it. So, since you're addicted to sugar, my technique is not pure abstinence. Because if pure abstinence worked for you, you wouldn't be watching this, right? So, um, what I suggest is that you eat something sweet without sugar whenever you crave sweetness. So, our goal here is to break the link in your brain between sweet cravings and sugar. For now, it's obvious to you that when you want something sweet, you need to buy junk food, but you want to break that link. So, what you really crave is sweetness, and that doesn't necessarily mean sugary stuff. Let's see what I mean here. Let's go through all the alternatives that I tried and how they work for me, and I think they will work for you. So, what usually people think of when I say sugar free sweet stuff is fruit, berries, and honey. Natural sweetness. And yeah, everyone talks about it, and it comes to up to mind, but it ain't it. Like, fruit isn't chocolate bars, fruit isn't cookies. Like, think about it. If a banana was as good for you in your eyes as Snickers, you would probably not have a problem with sugar, right? The problem is that, well, Snickers is different from fruit, like chocolate is different from berries, right? Cookies are different from honey. So I suggest something else. Snacks with sweeteners. And usually people are turned off by it because they think that sweeteners are harmful. And some people are mistaken. They think that sweeteners are worse than sugar. But I basically I know the stuff and I'll explain the sweeteners that you will encounter. And I'm telling you that no sweeteners are worse than sugar. Sugar is the worst thing. Any other sweeteners are either as bad or actually much better. Most sweeteners, most bad sweeteners, aren't some like weird chemical that malevolent scientists create in the lab. It's usually some sweetener that it's made out of sugar, so it works in similar ways, so that's why it kind of sucks. Let's see what I mean. Stevia. Stevia is the perfect sweetener. It doesn't get any better than this. It's natural. It comes from a plant with the same name, and it's completely harmless. And it's low calorie. It's very sweet. It's very tasty. So if you see something with stevia that uses stevia, you can buy it. It's a no-brainer. It's healthy. It's harmless. It has no side effects. It's literally the best sweetener. Maltodextrin is one that you will encounter a lot, and it's a name for two different sweeteners. There is digestible maltodextrin and digestion-resistant maltodextrin. Digestible maltodextrin is basically like sugar, so it works similarly, and I think it's made out of sugar. Digestion-resistant is supposedly a low-calorie sweetener, so it should be all right. But the problem is that they never specify which one it is on the label. You will see it. You never know. And should you eat it? Like, should you eat maltodextrin if it's as bad as sugar? Well, it's not as bad, but it's pretty bad. Well, I think yes, if you want to, because once again, our goal here, our first step is breaking the link between sweetness and sugar. And you shouldn't really be afraid of getting addicted to it. there is a risk that you will get addicted at some point to snacks with sweeteners, but it's gonna be very short term because they're just not that tasty. Okay, they're tasty enough to kill the urge, but they're not tasty to be addicted for years. So yeah, I think switching to stuff with maltodextrin, even if it's still bad, not bad as sugar, I think switching to it is beneficial in the long term because, well, you train the discipline. Maltitol. Maltitol is too basically like sugar, but a bit less harmful. And the logic stays the same. Our goal is to break the link. So I think if you're addicted to sugar now, you should consider switching to maltitol or maltodextrin. Not necessarily, but if the only snacks that you find is with them, yeah, it's worth switching to them. But it's processed food, you say? Yeah, it is, but you're addicted to sugar. Like, you're already addicted to junk food, and if you switch from sugary junk food to sugar-free junk food, it's gonna be a lot of progress. It's gonna be a huge step. And it's the first step to the clean diet. Right now, I have the cleanest diet, but this is how I started. Okay? So, you cannot just give up sugar without replacing it with something. If you could, you would already done it. There are people who can do it. They already did it. You didn't because you can't. You gotta accept it. And well, if you are addicted to sugary junk food, like have the humility to make this small step, okay, to switch to sugar-free junk food. Okay, it's still better. So the actionable step that I want you to do in tomorrow or today is actually check out what sweetened snacks with no added sugar are available in shops near where you live and see what they taste like. I think you should do it now when you're not craving it rather than later when you're actually craving something sweet so that when you actually have this urge, you already know where to go, where to buy it. Because if you get this urge again and then you start searching for sugar-free alternatives, you may not find it as easily. So you can just say like screw it and just relapse on sugar food again. So I think it's what you should prepare in advance. Also, you can uh, look for them online and order them so they have them available. Good news for you. Environment doesn't matter that much when you're giving up sugar with this method, switching to sweetened snacks. I had a family whose diet was pretty bad. They bought a lot of sugary stuff and I didn't really crave it because whenever I craved something, I would just buy the sweetened snacks, the sweetened stuff. So, yeah, if you have a gluttonous family, you shouldn't worry about it because you've got it. But it doesn't apply to you if you're not serious about fighting sugar. If you're just looking for excuses to eat sugar, your environment will give you a lot of excuses and also a ton of sugar. So if you're not strong, if you're weak about it, if you're not serious about it, if you're dependent on other people's opinions, then any snake that says that you're being too extreme and you should enjoy yourself, they will break you. Okay? So environment doesn't matter that much only if you are serious about fighting sugar. If you want to quit it once and for all. If you're not serious, then your environment will break you. Important note though, I'm only saying environment does matter in the context of our anti-sugar protocol. Overall in life, obviously environment is one of the most important things. It's a crucial thing. But when giving up sugar, it doesn't matter that much if you use the method that I talked about. So, an actionable step, get rid of all sugary stuff that you have. If you live alone, there should be no sugary stuff in your home. If you live with someone and they buy something, okay, you cannot control that, but you shouldn't have anything of your own. Throw it in the garbage, give it to someone else. You won't be able to eat it, you won't be able to finish it, and don't tell me that you don't want to lose money. You wasted money when you bought it. Now, all I'm saying is that you shouldn't waste your health as well. So get rid of it. No excuses. There's no reason, no uh, rational reason for you to keep it. Okay? So the next rule is don't try new sugary stuff. For example, a bakery nearby started baking new dessert that you haven't tried yet, and it contains sugar, but maybe you should try it. Maybe you should experience life, right? No, you shouldn't. First of all, if you like it, you'll start craving it. So you just make your life much, much more difficult. You already have a problem with sugar, don't you? So don't make it more difficult for you when you have difficulty, when it's hard for you to manage it already, okay? If you like it, you start craving it. And the taste, I'm telling you, will probably not be good enough to justify the new problem. Another thing I'm saying is that if you're telling me that you want to experience life and that's why you're buying it, that's bullshit. Because if you want to experience life, try new fruit, cook a new thing, okay? Uh, ask your uh, ask your grandma to cook something new for you, okay? Sugar free. There are so many things that don't contain sugar that you haven't tried, and you're telling me that you want to experience life by relapsing on sugar. Want to experience life? Go for a walk if it's good weather. Go to a town nearby. That's how you experience life. You don't experience life with um, poisoning yourself with sugar. Okay, maybe you find a dessert that you wouldn't really want to try. You can find a bakery or a cafe that cooks it without sugar. There are plenty, especially if you're in a big city. Or you could cook it yourself, okay, without sugar. Or you could ask your grandma or mom to cook it for you without sugar. Once again, always find a way to go around it and around the sugar. And let's imagine you can't do anything, okay? You cannot find a way to try this dessert without sugar. Well, discipline is about saying no to things sometimes. You don't always get what you want, okay? Uh, just say no to it, okay? It's not available to you. It's all right. You're gonna live without it. Don't believe your FOMO. At the level like mine, when you haven't eaten anything sugary for years and you're not addicted to it at all and you don't crave it, and it's inexistent in your life, you don't have this stupid FOMO. Like all the excuses you make are so obvious. But for now, it's probably difficult. What you want to believe in is that whenever you refuse sugar, you will probably find something as good with no sugar. It's what happened to me. Okay, let me tell you a story. So it happened a couple months ago, and I lived with my friend. So one day he comes to my room and says, like, Camille, we had a problem. I don't know what to do. And what happened is our landlord gave him uh, a piece of a chocolate cake, some birthday cake. And he was new to this sugar-free life, so he asked me for advice. So my idea was that I would go and give it to my previous landlord. Okay, so that's what I did. I went to my previous landlord's house, I gave it to him, and he invited me to drink some tea another day. So then I did come to drink some tea with him, and he offered me candy with the tea. And yeah, obviously I could eat it, like if just to be polite, maybe if I refused, he would think, like he would feel bad about it. But I did refuse because I don't eat candy, I don't eat sugar. So he thought for a bit, and then he went downstairs and he came back upstairs with a huge bag of tangerines and two persimmons, and he gave it to me. Okay? And I took it back home, and my friend and I ate it, the tangerines, for days. See how it works? So, first, my friend refused a piece of chocolate cake. Then I refused the candy, and what we got in return is a huge bag of tangerines. Much better. Imagine if he ate the piece of cake. He would probably feel shitty after it. He would feel weak. He would uh, be disappointed in himself. He wasn't disappointed from eating tangerines, right? And imagine if I was just feel pressured socially and I would eat the candy. I would then doubt myself. I wouldn't be happy with myself after that. And I wouldn't get the tangerines. So, see, whenever you refuse something in life, something bad, an even better thing always comes. Okay? It doesn't only work like this with sugar, it works like this with anything really. So don't be afraid to say no to sugar. You always will find something else, either another tasty thing, or maybe if you stop checking on your diet, just maybe you will get your V taper at last. Okay, that's still gonna be better. So this is it basically. Follow this protocol, follow these rules, and your sugar addiction will be gone in weeks or probably in days. Just make sure not to make excuses, okay? Because every excuse just reverses your progress. You will always regret making excuses. You will never regret saying no to sugar. Never ever. Gotta warn you, sweetened snacks can be costly. They're much more expensive than just regular junk food because, well, it's usually a bit more high quality, and regular junk food with sugar, it's cheap because it's made out of crap. But I'm telling you, this is worth it. Think about all the money they're gonna save in the long term when you're not addicted to sugar anymore. And actually, it's the first step to your cleanest diet. So eventually, you're gonna eat as clean as you can imagine, and actually more clean than that. You're gonna save a lot of money on that. It's just the first step. So think long term. Think about the money saved long term, and about the time saved long term, and energy saved long term. You're just gonna feel much better without sugar, and you're gonna earn more money without sugar. So even though it's costly, if you have money, give it a try. Let me know if this video was helpful. Leave a comment. Say, tell me if you got any good ideas from it. If no, tell me what was bad about it, what you needed to, what you needed clarification for. I'll be happy to help. Also, join my free school community. The link is in the comments. You can also ask questions there, and I will help you. I will give my knowledge and my experience. So, if this video was any help for you, I feel fulfilled because I made this video to help you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your attention span, and I will see you in next videos.